Local program funding provided by a generous grant from Union Pacific. Union Pacific, building America.
I'm Karen Hoyt, Marketing Director at Shasta Regional Medical Center, and we're proud to be part of the conversation that the Forum at KIXE is bringing to our community. Shasta Regional has been around for more than 60 years supporting our community, and we would like to invite you to be a part of the Forum on KIXE. Together, we can support the community that gives us back so much. Thank you.
Hi, and thank you for watching the Forum. I'm Ashley Tate, and I'm here with my co-hosts Chris Resner and Christy Largent, and our guest, Rick Osbrink from the Youth Entrepreneurship Program at Shasta College. Hi, Rick. How are you?
Thank you guys for having me today.
Thanks for coming on. So, you are with the Youth Entrepreneurship Program, and it's kind of a funny story, I guess, even how I met you there with that program starting. Because I didn't realize that I knew you.
You didn't know that you knew me, actually, yeah. I called you, talked on the phone with you like 3 or 4 times, and it wasn't until we actually met in person that you're like, hey, I know you.
That was a lot of fun, though. And Chris, you were on it, too. It was kind of fun. And
well, hello, what is it?
Okay,
Youth Entrepreneurship Program.
That's kind of why we're here, right?
Okay, why don't you tell us, what is the program, what's it about, who's involved, all the skinny on, it's YEP.
Youth Entrepreneurship Program.
Okay. Got a lot today. Yep.
Well, the YEP program started back about 6 years ago by 4 people at Shasta College. Eva Jimenez, she's a dean out there, Kelly Anthis, Teresa Alexander, and Kathy Wilson started the program. It's grant funded through the California Community College Chancellor's Office, and basically what it is, it's all about promoting entrepreneurship as a viable career option to students ages 14 to 27.
Wow, 14 to 27,
So 27 is the max age you're taking?
Yeah, 27 is the cap. I don't think we can teach you anything more, Chris.
But
I think you got a nail on it right there.
Now, how do the kids find out about the contest?
Well, we run a lot of our contests. The contest isn't the only thing that we do.
Okay.
We do have it's an annual business concept and elevator pitch competition that we do. But we also we do a lot of the promotion through the high schools and through our community college, obviously through Shasta College.
Right.
So we get a lot of teachers involved with the program, and students learn through it that way.
Oh, wow.
And so who can only people from the Shasta County be involved in this, or?
Actually,
who is it open to?
We promote this program through the 10 counties north of Butte, so basically all the way across the North State. We run this program, and we've actually expanded quite a bit the last couple of years. So we have a competition in Shasta County, Siskiyou County, Humboldt County, Lassen, and Plumas County as well.
Wow, so every year you're going to have a competition in one of those counties.
Correct, and all of those counties,
so
actually.
Break it down a little. What's the competition, and how does that play into the overall program that you run?
So the competition is actually kind of step 2 of our program. Our program starts off with, and later in the year we do what's called the EET, or Extreme Entrepreneurship Tour. And what that is kind of an excitement event for students to get them excited about entrepreneurship and understand what entrepreneurship is. Then we move into the program, into the business concept and elevator pitch competition. And basically it's a chance for students to come up with a unique business idea, something that hasn't been invented before, a big modern change on something that's existing. And they get to kind of dive into it a little bit more. They do an elevator pitch video that they get to promote their video. They have to market it. And that's judged by a group of local judges, and then
such as our illustrious
co-host, exactly.
Yeah.
And then they get a chance to answer 13 questions based on their business, and it has to do with marketing and profit and startup costs and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And then we select the top 5 finalist groups. They get to participate in the final competition, where we have a keynote speaker come back from New York that actually he's part of the criteria. He's a pretty funny guy.
Who is he?
His name's EJ Carrion, but he's a part of a network of entrepreneurship speakers. And part of the criteria to be a speaker is you had to have made $1 million or had some significant impact on society by the time you were 25. And they were all under 30. So it's a great group of individuals.
So kind of like Shark Tank Jr.
It pretty much is.
That's
pretty
a
much
great
is.
example.
Yeah.
Well, I got to say, being a part of it, Rick, for the last 3 or 4 years, that it's always really inspiring to me to be a part of it and to see these kids that are actually being challenged in real life stuff. I mean, I think that there's a lot of times in school where you learn all the things that you have to learn, but you're not learning actual things that you're going to take with you in real life. And it's neat to see these kids being challenged and being creative and learning how to create a business from scratch to the end product, and it's always something I look forward to every year, being able to be a part of that. So
it's a lot of fun, and we've had a lot of successes from the program as well. To talk about that, giving them an experience, a little hands-on experience. That we had a young lady by the name of Lexi up in Mount Shasta, California, that went through the program. She did it as a school project. Her heart and soul really, I don't think, was in it at the beginning. And as she progressed through the program, she really realized that, hey, this is something I can do. She never really had that understanding before. And after the program, she's been now she started a business. She's been in business for a little over 1.5 years, I believe now. She has a brick and mortar storefront up in Mount Shasta, and she's doing really, really well.
And it all started because of this Youth Entrepreneurship Program.
Correct. Yes.
So what's her store?
It's called Black Butte Baskets. She sells gift baskets, and she's expanding to a bakery now too.
Oh, well, that'd be awesome. That's really cool. And they really do some really interesting. They come up with some interesting concepts for a new business. One of them was to have the one that won, IntelliSmart.
IntelliSmart refrigerator.
I can actually remember that because I was wishing that the refrigerator would actually do something like this, which was it would take all your food or something, right, and then organize what you had in your refrigerator and tell you when you're out of something.
give you recipes.
So that all you have to do is print what you don't have and then go to the grocery store.
I don't understand how it could do that. How
Well,
could
well, it's a concept, right? So
You scan everything. You would scan everything when you put it in your fridge,
right?
and then off the barcode, so it tells you when you use it. You can you scan it on the way out of the fridge too, and it tells you where you're at in your fridge and what's going on.
It's not complete. It's not like complete, like they're going to go to market.
I would love that. So
Wouldn't
no more rotten food.
Exactly.
And my husband would not yell at me anymore about wasting food.
No more being at the grocery store and wondering what you need.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
right.
You could probably be in the grocery store if you forgot to get your list before you left.
Yeah.
And
That was one of the
probably do it with
components.
your-
That's right.
with
An
your
iPhone
phone.
oh my
app that
gosh,
went
get
along
my
with it.
iPhone out. Oh, yeah.
And you can tell they were just all really, they were go-getters.
These kids.
All these kids, yeah. I mean, they got business plans from Chris Hadrick. They
Yeah.
came up and he had a line of probably 10 people. He just said, yeah, a business plan would be great and I have one if you guys would like one. He had a line out and the auditorium was full at Cascade.
Yeah, we had well over 400 students there that we bus in from all the local high schools around the area. So we try to reach, not only students that are participating in the program, but we try to get exposure to students that might have not thought about that before.
Now, how do you get exposure to the students? I know you were talking about the EET program. So you have to be part of this Youth Entrepreneurship Program to be part of the EET, or is that something completely separate? Like, how would a high school student find out about being part of this program?
Well, a lot of we do have a website. It's yepsc.org, Youth Entrepreneurship Program, shastacollege.org, and all the materials about the competition are on there. But a lot of our promotion goes through the high schools. So we actually find these key champs in our high schools that really kind of spearhead the program.
Okay.
And they're the ones that really are the driving force behind it.
Oh, okay. Okay. I like that. And then do you guys do any sort of mentor programs?
We do.
here?
We've actually partnered with a couple other resources at Shasta College. One in particular is the Small Business Development Center. And what they do is they offer one-on-one consulting to small business owners. And they've offered, through their program, to offer consulting to students that are interested in starting businesses at no cost.
Oh, okay.
So students can
great.
come there. Even students that are going through the business plan competition can kind of come in and vet their ideas to consultants and
That's nice.
get some ideas.
That's great.
great.
It's a great
So
resource.
what's
to have.
the push? It's interesting. Through Shasta College, you're really pushing this entrepreneurship. And
Absolutely.
So, I mean, obviously, we love entrepreneurship. You're sitting here with a bunch of entrepreneurs. How did you get connected with that, and what was your background towards that? I mean, entrepreneurs are not people that want other people telling them what to do, right? They are
That's true.
outside. They don't want to be told what to do. They take the risk that comes with not having a steady paycheck because they're writing the checks.
Yes.
So how did you get into that? And it's interesting that, to me, the college is pushing entrepreneurship versus get in with a Fortune 500 company or something?
Well, small business is the backbone of the U.S. So,
Right.
The majority of businesses around are small businesses, and being able to create something for yourself and be successful at it, that's why, that's the educational component to it that Shasta College pushes. But how I got involved in it, it really kind of fell in my lap. I'm actually a construction technology instructor at the college. And my dean, Eva Jimenez, who started the program, came to me and said, hey, you know what, I need someone to kind of spearhead this program and help it grow. And she gave me the opportunity to do it about 2.5 years ago. And so I've been running with it ever since. I figured I kind of took that construction project mindset and applied it to promoting the program. So.
And it wasn't because of your awesome personality or anything.
That just has a little bit to do with it. Just a tiny bit to do with
maybe you
it.
could get
That
into
was a nice little bonus. That was a good bonus.
Yeah. So had you had any experience in entrepreneurship before that?
Yes, I did. I came from an entrepreneurship family. My father was a small business owner for 20-something years, the little fishing tackle store down in Southern California. And then I myself kind of dabbled in it a little bit when I moved up here from Southern California about 7 years ago.
And
with a
how
little
did you end up in?
transplant.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I am a
How
transplant.
did you
Yeah.
end up here?
Yeah. My wife, she was born and raised up here,
Oh,
so
who's
she
your
drugged
wife?
me. Courtney Osbrink.
Okay.
Yep.
And what was her maiden name?
Carange.
Courtney Carange.
Courtney
And
Carange.
She finished what school? Where did she go
She
to
went
high school?
she went to Foothill High School.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you
And
probably
she's
have
having a
your-
Sounds like a
baby.
very
She is.
similar.
Right?
We are expecting our first child in October. So
Congratulations.
thank you. Thank
This
you.
sounds,
Excited
sounds
about
very
that.
similar. I moved here. My wife graduated Foothill.
They-
She's
see?
from here. Yeah, it's interesting.
I bet they know each other,
Yeah.
because they both played soccer. They both played soccer. Didn't Erin play soccer
Softball.
too?
Erin did
Softball.
softball.
Oh, I thought she played.
Yeah.
Courtney was a big basketball player.
Oh, well, I
So
had
they
it
were
all wrong.
athletic. They were athletic.
sister played
they were
soccer.
athletic.
Yes.
Right,
yeah.
sorry.
I think Courtney dabbled in it, but she was a basketball player.
Pretty much
And I
no
was
soccer.
totally off. Yeah, I was totally off.
No soccer.
Everybody plays soccer
Yeah.
in my house, so it's all soccer in my head.
Yeah.
Now and then, so you're kind of an outdoorsy guy, and I guess you're kind of going. You're going up to Mount Shasta, right? Are you?
Yeah, this weekend we're going to do a little backpacking this weekend.
Yeah. All right.
That's what
and-
I like.
Where are you backpacking up there?
Just up around Castle Lake area.
Yeah.
I tried
Yeah.
climbing Shasta a few weeks ago. That
Did
is
you?
No
You
joke.
did?
Oh,
Yes.
You did?
I did.
Yeah.
How far did you make it?
We made it to about 45 minutes past Helen Lake.
Oh.
So about
my
11,000 feet.
Can
Well, I
just
hope my
say-
And I got
boss doesn't
sick.
see
And I
that.
got sick.
You did.
Can I
You had
just
to come
say
back
it was
up.
at 10 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Yeah, we left at midnight
Yeah.
and started climbing. We climbed all through the night. And
Yeah,
Which
that's
is
how you
crazy
do
to
it.
me.
It was interesting.
Well, that's how they do
It was-
it. It's
Wow.
crazy.
I definitely wasn't prepared, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh,
Takeaway.
well, hey, I hope my boss doesn't watch us. She's coming in on Friday. She's heading
really?
off. Yeah.
Now,
So-
Kelly Anthus, right?
Kelly Anthus,
Is
yeah.
Is that this Friday?
That's this Friday.
So when we probably watching this show, it's going to have been before,
Right.
but, so we'll know the results by then.
Absolutely.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
pretty-
Kelly's gonna climb
This
Mount
is-
Shasta.
Yeah, she's doing it to help. She's trying to raise some money for the Women's Refuge. So
Oh
she's
my
cool.
gosh,
yeah,
that's
climbing Mount
amazing.
Shasta.
That's
amazing.
neat.
Yeah.
Wow, it's ambitious.
Very
is.
much so.
To be over 35 and climbing Mount Shasta.
She does not look a day over 35.
It's for the Women's Refuge.
That's
Yes.
ironic.
That's ironic.
So your family's Southern California, but you're here and you're just finding lots of stuff to do, I guess.
Oh, keep him busy. Obviously, with a baby on the way, that's gonna kind of taper off a little bit. But yeah, keeping it busy as much as possible.
Yeah. So what do you like best about living in the North State? What's been the biggest surprise, and what do you falling in love with?
Well, when I moved up here, my wife and I dated, long distance for a little over a year. So every time I'd come up here, it was vacation, and you'd go out and you'd spend time on the lake and all that. And then when you move up here, though, you're like, you mean it's 110? I got to go to work. This
Not
is
just when I'm at the lake.
See, that was a bit different.
hard.
The weather adjustment, Southern California, if it's 90 degrees, you're like, oh, this is horrible. But that was a bit of adjustment. But other than that, I love the outdoors. I love having all this at your fingertips, and you can kind of go hiking or
Yeah.
go to the lake and do that sort of thing.
Anytime. You can do it on your lunch break. And
It-
still
yeah,
feel like
you
you're on
can.
vacation.
Yeah.
So
It's
you
really
connected
amazing.
pretty quickly with Shasta College. For people who are thinking, oh, would I want to come up to the North State? What would what are the opportunities up here? Looking at it from an entrepreneurial standpoint, where do you see people being able to plug in most easily with what we have going on up here?
Wow, you mean the kind of the businesses that are available? Man, it's open. It really is wide open when it comes to small business. There's a lot of service-based businesses here in the North State, but as far as manufacturing, that sort of thing, that's always open and available. We have a lot of area that's available for manufacturing. So
yeah, manufacturing is kind of a huge thing up here.
it's a big growing sector too.
Yeah, it is. And do you find that since you're pushing the entrepreneurship program to the high school students that maybe they're not as interested, and I hope they're not, but maybe they're not as interested in going straight to college. They realize they can start a business right out of high school?
Obviously we push the college aspect of it quite a bit because having that educational background is really important. You talk to a lot of entrepreneurs that started a business without any college education, and a lot of them struggle because it's hard understanding the financials and that sort of aspect of it. So we definitely do push that. But yeah,
do you find
we find that students are realizing that, hey, it's a tough job market out there, and might as well just start something for myself and get something going and start making some money right away.
It's cool that you're giving them the tools to, if they do choose that.
Absolutely.
You are giving them tools to be able to do that.
Well, and to put something together while they're in school. So it's not even an either or really. It wouldn't have to be.
And that's something we try to promote as well is, entrepreneurship, although you have to be vested in it, you don't necessarily have to drop everything. You can start as a side business doing something on the weekends and earn a little extra money. So.
Yeah. And you don't have to be that 47-year-old.
Yeah, exactly.
With a ton of money to invest in your. You kind of started out that way too. Like when you were telling them at the program, I thought that was really interesting. I don't know if you want to share it right now, but I thought it was kind of interesting.
It was the challenges of finding somebody that would invest in me, a young guy that has nothing but a car that I didn't even own. Trying to convince somebody to loan me a lot of money is a challenge. It took me several years. So.
Yeah, and that is one of the biggest, obviously, hurdles for small businesses today is the access to capital.
Yeah.
So that's where kind of the SBDC and some of the other programs at the college really can help out with is creating that business plan, showing potential investors that you are a viable company and that you do have something to offer.
So you do help them get loans and grants and get investors interested. Do you do that whole process as well?
We do, yeah, through the Small Business Development Center arm of the college. It's not, we help them, we instruct them along the way, give them the tools and resources to accomplish that.
Okay.
That's great.
That's awesome.
So I'm curious about the kind of reception you're getting from the high school kids. When you are out there trying to get kids involved in putting together an idea, what would you say the average kind of response is from our different high schools?
When you go out and start talking to them about entrepreneurship, it's a lot of blank faces at first. They don't know, it's just a big word. People, they don't understand what it means. But once you start really kind of working through the concept of it, and we really structured our program to be more educational and fun versus that real, especially with the high school students, the real viable businesses, we promote that in the college side of the program. But with high schools, we try to have a lot of fun with it. And once they start coming up with some of these unique ideas, it's really no holding them back.
Yeah.
They really have a lot of fun with it.
And do they get class credit for being a part of the program, or is this extracurricular?
There's we kind of leave it up to the teachers that spearhead it. In different schools, there are some instructors that actually have it as a part of their curriculum, and then other instructors utilize it just as extra credit or just promote it for us.
Like a club or something after school.
Yeah.
See, that's what I think would be probably one of the most important things is to say, how people think that we should have financial curriculum, to teach kids how to deal with their finances. I think entrepreneurship or just a business-based curriculum, since people are starting so young, and all over the other countries and here in the U.S. too, but just giving them those tools early on.
And that's that's a thing that not a lot of people understand is that even if you're going to go be a doctor, you're an entrepreneur. There's a lawyer. All those major career fields. You're running a business, and so these tools are useful all over the place.
Yes, absolutely. And and speaking of doctors, generally they get out and they get into their practice, and they don't realize everything that comes along with that, unless you've been raised in that or something.
Well, it's kind of like the E-Myth, which I'm sure you're familiar with, a really old classic about the entrepreneurs. The plumber becomes a plumber because he loves doing plumbing, and the doctor becomes a doctor. But he has no clue how to run a business. They have no business plan. What are you talking about? I just want to fix people's toilets.
Right.
Or,
that's only a small part of it.
And actually, that whole book, The E-Myth, I led that 20 years ago. And I think the idea that you do what you're really good at, and then you find really good people to help you with the areas where you're not so good, and for them to be learning even those components kind of before they even do anything.
Absolutely.
Because how many businesses, especially we've seen in this economy, if they don't have strong support, they're not going to make it, because we can't be excellent at everything.
Right.
Right.
And it just allows you to get your mind thinking too about where you want to be later. What kind? I mean, like, anything is open to you. You can carve out that niche for yourself.
Exactly.
Instead of realizing at 25 or 30 after you've gone to school for other things that, oh, you know what, I actually
40.
didn't want to go that path. I mean, because
Yeah.
we get stuck in thinking so many different little compartments that you have to either fall into one of these, when really you could just cut a hole through all those and say, I'm going to do whatever I want.
Absolutely.
That reminded me of a question I was thinking. What do you guys want to do in the future? I mean, where do you see this whole thing going?
Well, obviously, we want to start developing our program to be a really start to finish program where we're really seeding and helping entrepreneurs in the local area all across this north state. So we've been working the past couple years to branch out into the different counties, and from there now we're going to start to really model and sculpt our curriculum to be that start to finish. This is what entrepreneurship is all about, and hey, we're opening your doors next week.
Oh,
Just
that's
like this.
amazing. That would be amazing.
And then we are still in business 2 years later.
And we're still in business 2 years later.
Because you have supports for people once they do start their
Absolutely.
business, right?
Yeah, that's the main component of the Small Business Development Center, is to help those businesses reach the next level.
How can we as a community be supportive of what you guys have going on out there?
Well, obviously just utilizing the tools that we have. A lot of these are grant funded. A lot of this kind of goes under the radar, unfortunately, and we really want to promote our products and promote our services. A lot of our services are offered at no cost. Everyone really thinks that there's a cost associated with it. But tools like the Small Business Development Center, the Youth Entrepreneurship Program, they're really good tools that are available, and they're available at no cost. And all we have to do is just get people in the doors for them to realize that that these services are out there and available, and the quality of service that we provide.
So what's the website for those our viewers who are wanting to know? How do I find out more about this?
Well, if you just
Say
go
it
to
really slowly and clearly for all of us.
I'm going to make it really, really easy,
Okay.
because if you just go to shastacollege.edu, all those programs are available on that website.
ShastaCollege.edu, and it is the Youth
Entrepreneurship
Program. YEP, so it's listed as that. Go ahead,
And
Ashley.
just to be clear, that those programs are available to anyone, not just. So
Absolutely.
there's lots of other programs that you mentioned, and those are available to anyone.
So you guys, another amazing show on the forum. Thank you so much, Rick, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Please go to our Facebook page, and we look forward to seeing you next week.
Local program funding provided by a generous grant from Union Pacific. Union Pacific, building America.
I'm Karen Hoyt, Marketing Director at Shasta Regional Medical Center, and we're proud to be part of the conversation that the forum at KIXE is bringing to our community. Shasta Regional has been around for more than 60 years supporting our community, and we would like to invite you to be a part of the forum on KIXE. Together, we can support the community that gives us back so much. Thank you.